Hello, Chuck and Brandon. How are you? I'm very good, very nice. I'm very good, very nice. Hello, Texy Banana. Hello, Chicken Nugget family.
Hi Josh,
Really good.
what you been doing?
I've just been getting sunburned.
You got a little bit, but we put quite a high factor on you, didn't we, on the Monday? But you still got a little bit
Yeah.
burnt on your shoulders, didn't you? But
This is day 3.
it's day 3. It's a little bit overcast at the moment. The sun's not out,
Yeah.
but it's coming. But
And I have some good steak tonight.
you had some good steak, didn't you?
Yeah, I hope I get some good steak tonight. And I see you in day 4.
So after watching that intro, you must be thinking to yourself, what a perfect holiday. It looks like it all went to plan. I can tell you it didn't. You look at a lot of YouTube videos and they probably look a lot better than they were. But don't get me wrong, the holiday was good. But when you've got children on the spectrum, one PDA, autism, another one with ADHD, it is just never going to go to plan. You can plan these things as the best you can, but it doesn't mean that it's always gonna go to plan. Originally, the plan was, you know, when deciding for a holiday was, do you get a villa where it's just you guys and the kids, or do you go to a resort where there's lots of people? I mean, it's different for each child, different for each family. But I sort of went with, we'll go with a villa with a pool, and we could come and go as we please. And we actually got a villa in the north of the island of Tenerife because it's quieter here, it's nicer here, the scenery is nice here, and not so busy. What I didn't plan for was for having other family members on the holiday, which kind of changes the dynamics a little bit to what you used to, and therein lies the issue. I mean, we had a particularly bad meltdown from Joshua at the villa, and to a point where I sort of had to take him out the villa and spend a night in a hotel with him to sort of rebalance things. After that, we came back the following day, and you know, we just took him to the water park, took him to the beach, got him really worn out. So the idea of relaxing at the villa was all right for a day or so, but I had to keep him active, keep him doing things, which was really, really good. And Joshy and Brandon, they wanted to try and find the Very Good, Very Nice Man. So I got dragged over to Tenerife South. Now, bear in mind, when you're in the north, it's an hour drive all the way there, an hour drive back. We got a car, but we went over there, went to the beach. We saw the guys, and you can see at the beginning of the video, which was an absolute smash hit, and so much fun, in fact, that the next day we went back and we went to the Siam water park. And if you do go to the water park here, you can, when you go and you've got children with autism, if you tell them you've got children with autism, they will give you fast passes for free, no extra cost, and for you and for the child and one other adult. That's a really good thing to bear in mind if you're coming over to Tenerife. Lots of places, you know, if you explain to them, are more than happy to help you. They're really good over, and we found the people really, really nice in the north and the south, which has been really, really good. We're actually on day 6 now, and tomorrow we fly back, and obviously we're on Ryanair once again. Try and get some boiled sweets this time, so he's got something to suck on going up and going down. And I'm not too worried about the flight. He's a pretty good flyer, and I think because, I mean, he handled it better going. It did coming back. I know each child, again, is different. If you've got a child on the spectrum or ADHD, that it's different for each, and you try and prepare as much as you can. Make sure to charge the iPads and the iPhones the night before, and make sure they've got water. And this time I think I'll see what the special assistance desk is like in here in Tenerife.
What's wrong? How are you enjoying it? Well, you've done well. You've been on the flight now for nearly 4 hours. So you've managed to get this far.
Maybe it may be a little bit easier getting him onto the plane. And Joshy got a little bit sunburnt the first day he was here. We put factor 50 on him, but the kids jump in the pool and they're on and off and out, and he got a little bit burnt, a little bit red, not too bad, but obviously even if it was just a little bit red, he it bothered him, and he kind of milked it for all it was worth. And you touch him 3 days later when it's not red anymore, and it still bothers him. So we got some stuff to put on him to cool him down, but he's been fine. At the water park, he was absolutely fine. He wanted to go on all the water slides, and he was really interacting with our family members really, really well. So what we found was where before new people around him, quite nervous, a bit anxious, a bit territorial in some ways, that taking him out, doing team things together in the sea, at the water park. I know lots of children that other children won't be able to do those kind of things like Joshua does, or Brandon does, and they might find those things difficult. But we found that kind of helped things. Maybe one day at home, one day off doing something. And I think next time, but it's just so long we haven't been on holiday with the pandemic, and then you look at the holidays when everyone's looking to go on holiday again, and it costs you twice as much as it would have done, a couple of years ago. So you sort of and the weather's been good in England as well, so there's kind of been things to do. So it's just keeping them busy, keeping them occupied, keeping them hydrated, and keeping them fed. One of the things we call is hangry, which is where they're hungry and they get angry, which we watch out for Joshua, hangry. And if he doesn't eat, then obviously he gets hangry. So that's another thing that he does, another thing to look out for. Last thing I'll say is that a big thank you to the groups on Facebook, the PDA groups, the Autistic groups. A big thank you to them, because they do provide a lot of help for a lot of people and a lot of answers, and it's a really good go-to place when you need that help, support, and that camaraderie of people, that you're not alone out there. One comment stood out to me recently while someone was giving some really good advice on parenting with a child with PDA, is they want to sort of say that's all well and good, but when you've got a sibling that's antagonising the PDA, it can be, what do you do then? And I really that really sort of hit home with me, because that's one of the issues that we have. We've got two boys, and Joshua obviously PDA, and Brandon, who's his younger brother, who is quite severe ADHD. So you can be the best parent in the world, but when you've got when you've got another two brothers or two siblings or whatever that clash, you're always gonna run into some kind of problem. It's never easy, and it's never gonna be easy. I've been at that point where I'm looking for the answer, and there just isn't an answer. You just have to try and deal with the situation you best you can, and I think that. I think what I do find sometimes with them is that I probably tend to pander to them more, to want to help them, and that probably isn't necessarily the best way. And you've got to try and teach them to be independent as well. So, as a parent, you're always learning. I mean, it's like you think, they're autistic, they've got special needs, you want to do more for them. But when they're a PDA, they can take advantage of you a little bit. So you really, I guess every kid's different. So it's almost like sometimes they might sense a bit of weakness in you. But you've got to be firm, and as a family, and I know there's a lot of families that do have children on the spectrum, you've got to show a united front, and you've got to pull together. You can't pull away from each other, and it doesn't. We all do it. All of us are human. None of us are perfect. But if you can keep a united front, stick to the things that you say you're going to do. If you say, look, you're not going to do that. If this happens, that's not going to happen. You're not going to get this. And it's easier to say yes, but if there's no consequences and they can just do what they want, then it does. We all make mistakes, but it's getting back on the horse and just keep trying, and that seems to be the way that keeps it all together. But it's very, very far from perfect. But overall, we've had a good holiday. We've had some ups, we've had some downs. We've made the best out of it. The kids have enjoyed themselves. and worn them out each night for the last couple of nights. So fingers crossed we can enjoy the last couple of days.